Hello everyone, time to grind here, and today I wanted to talk about Teardown. And Teardown is a super innovative game that just came out in early access that has you preparing and executing the perfect heists in a fully simulated and destructible Voxel world. And this has been on my radar for some time now, and since it came out in early access, I've spent a decent amount of time with it and am definitely realizing what all of the hype this game has is all about. Also, after this review, if you want to see even more gameplay of Teardown, I made a Let's Play of the game yesterday, so I'll link that at the end of the video and in the comments and description. But let's just jump into the review. So the game starts off with you owning a demolition company or scrapyard, and your business is not doing very well. You get an email from your mom saying how the business is failing and you really should be accepting any jobs you get. And so the first job you get has you destroying a building to make room for a small mall expansion. And it seems a little fishy at first, but you need the money, so you do it. And it turns out that that was just someone's house and you just committed a crime, and so now you start getting blackmailed to do more and more escalating heists, and it just keeps getting you deeper and deeper in the world of crime. And so that's the main story of the campaign, but what about the gameplay? That's like the entire part of the game, so we should definitely talk about that. So the entire worlds you're in are voxel based and fully destructible. So you start out with a couple different tools like a sledgehammer, and the more you play, the more you unlock new tools like blowtorches, shotguns, planks, and more. And so every mission in the campaign has you doing a different task. One might have you just finding a couple safes throughout the map and figuring out ways to get them out of the buildings and throwing them in the lake. Some missions might have you destroying an entire lake house to make room for another boat. And so these missions are fairly easy, and although you have to figure out how to properly do the tasks without, say, setting off a fire alarm, you do have infinite time to do them. Then there's these other types of missions that require you to do a lot more planning. So this could be something like you have to sink 3 out of 6 cars on this guy's mansion in water. And the catch is, though, is that every car is attached to an alarm. So the second you steal the first car, an alarm starts going off, and after 60 seconds, you will be caught. So the entire point of these missions is to set up the perfect heist, that way you can complete your mission in those 60 seconds. So for the car mission, I first brought one car on a tow truck right up to a small pond and just kind of parked it there. Then I mapped out with spray paint exactly where I would need to go so that I could take the first car, get it in water, immediately run over to this other car where I would drive it over to the pond and sink it, and then I would get in that last car that I, placed previously, get that in the water, and then I would take a getaway vehicle I had put right there to the exit. And so it's almost like a puzzle game in a way, but it's a puzzle that has an infinite amount of different answers due to the fact that it is this fully destructible world, and so you could complete that car mission in a completely different way than I did. And there are also secondary objectives that you can do and some hidden valuables in the missions that you can find to gain more money in order to level up your tools faster. And so some of your tools like the shotgun or the blowtorch or planks can be upgraded in different ways to give you more ammo for them or make them more useful in various ways. And so the main campaign has you going through several of these different missions on a couple of different maps, and there is a decently interesting story, but you definitely play the game just because it's so satisfying to plan and execute these heists, along with the destructibility in itself is super satisfying. And honestly, this is the best heist game I have ever played, because, you have games like Payday, and the gameplay in Payday and the gunplay is really, really fun, but you don't really plan out your heists to the amount that you do in this game. Like, you could spend 4 hours planning and preparing the best heist that gets you all the main and secondary objectives while only taking 30 seconds. And there's also a sandbox mode if you just want to mess around and destroy stuff, and that's really nice because the destructibility in this game is super satisfying. You can also make your own worlds using a free voxel modeling software called Magica Voxel, which I don't have any experience with, but I'm assuming if you're into these voxel-based games and you've played a lot of them before, I'm assuming some of you might have heard of it before. And so overall, the game is pretty incredible in early access right now. It has the first chunk of the campaign out, and it feels pretty polished overall. The performance is slightly on the more difficult side to run. Obviously with a game that's simulating all these individual voxel bricks, it's going to be very CPU heavy, so hopefully there'll be some improvements in that, kind of field. But other than that, I think the game is amazing. So if you are into heist-based games and this game looks intriguing, I would definitely recommend it for $20, as I totally think that's worth it. Also, like I said earlier, if you want to see even more gameplay of Teardown, I played the first couple of missions on a Let's Play I released yesterday, so definitely check that out as well. Also, if you just can't get enough of me and you're wondering why I am wearing a Christmas sweater on Halloween, definitely check out a podcast I got with some friends called Media Crash. Today is Halloween, and so we have a Halloween special out, and you can watch that to kind of learn why I am wearing a Christmas sweater on Halloween. But if you guys have played Teardown or just from watching gameplay, I would love to know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, then consider leaving a like down below and subscribing to see more content. I make 3 to 6 video reviews and Let's Plays a week, just on a wide variety of games, but especially indie games, so subscribe and ring that bell like all the big boy YouTubers say to see those in the future. And if you're going to be grinding out some heists in Teardown, I wish you luck, and see you guys next time.